Projekt Guru.
Всем привет! С вами Zak Novak на радиостанции Novorossia Rocks. Welcome to Novorossia Rocks radio station. This is Zak Novak, your American in downtown Donetsk. The program is called Projekt Guru. Guru is in the house as always. My engineer Andre as well. Let's get right to it. Barbaric and cowardly as Nazi Ukraine snipers target civilians. Also homes destroyed as the Kiev Junta launch over 184 rocket fire on Donetsk Republic. A civilian in Donetsk was injured in the night shelling from occupied positions of the Nazi Ukrainian military. 2 homes burned down, another 2 are damaged. Head of the city's Petrov district, Maxim Zhukovsky, said on Sunday. Also in the evening at 22:40, that's 10:40, a sniper injured a civilian who was taken to a hospital. He said the sniper was watching windows and opened fire as he could see somebody in the window. The official also said during the past night the military damaged 2 homes as they used mortars. Listen to this, people. Sniper fire. These are snipers, Nazi fascist soldiers targeting civilians, randomly walking on the streets, targeting their windows and homes. A source at the Republic's Defense Authority said another 2 homes burned down in Alexandrovka settlement, which is close to the line of engagement. The military used 120mm mortars, and by the morning, they added tank fire. Earlier on Sunday, the DPR military said the Nazi Ukrainian forces on Saturday and Sunday launched 184 shells and mortars on the Republic's territory. Members of the contact group for the settlement of the situation in Donbass region at a meeting in Minsk April 29 agreed on a complete ceasefire in Donbass starting from midnight April 30th. Is an 8 ceasefire agreement since the autumn of 2014. The sides, however, continue accusing each other, but we all know it's the Kiev Junta who are starting the provocations. War crimes, genocide by the Ukraine junta as bombs fall on civilian areas. 2 killed, 5 injured in the Donetsk Republic. Horrific war crimes committed by the Ukraine junta government, which is backed by the Obama regime along with its terrorist organization NATO, who supplied deadly weapons to coup leader Poroshenko and his war machine, bombing civilian areas once again, terrorizing the nation and its citizens over the weekend. 2 people were killed and another 5 got injured in the Donetsk People's Republic, DPR, in a shelling from positions of the Ukrainian military. The DPR commander, spokesman Edward Basurin, said on Sunday. 1 civilian was killed in Donetsk Kiev district. Also, 1 serviceman was killed as well. During the shelling, 4 people were injured in Donetsk, Yasinovate, Zaitsevo, and Komiternovo. Earlier on Sunday, the DPR military said the Nazi Ukrainian armed forces on Saturday and Sunday launched 184 shells and mortars on the Republic. Nazi Kiev security forces continue to challenge the People's Army, our freedom fighters, and Kiev Junta is repeatedly violating the truce, opening fire from mortars and tank weapons, which had to be withdrawn in accordance with the Minsk agreements. War crimes, genocide. With all the cowardly bombing by the Ukraine junta regime, the proud people of Lugansk and Donetsk Republic have returned. 95% are back. More than 95% of citizens who fled the conflict have already returned to the Lugansk and Donetsk People's Republics after reconstruction, LPR President Igor Plotnitsky said on Friday. We have restored schools, social facilities, infrastructure, railways, and industry. Today, all this is working, Plotnitsky was quoted by the Lugansk Inform Center. The citizens are returning to the republics as they see the difference between the conditions here and in the territory controlled by the Kiev Junta authorities. This shows that the people have not just come back, but they trust us. Thank you, Mother Russia. The 55th Humanitarian Aid Convoy headed for Donbass. At 6 o'clock in the morning on Saturday, the truck set off from Noginsk Rescue Center in Moscow region, which will be part of the 55th Humanitarian Batch to Donbass. The ministry notes that the 55th Convoy of Humanitarian Aid will be formed in Rostov region and in the Donskoy Rescue Center of the Russian Emergency Situations Ministry, where trucks from the other regions of Russia will join those from Noginsk. The formation of the column will be completed by August 25th. The ministry added that more than 70 trucks will make up the 55th column, which will deliver more than 600 tons of humanitarian aid. The cargo includes food, medicine, educational literature, which is necessary for educational institutions in Donbass to prepare for the new school year. Thank you, Mother Russia. Turkish wedding massacre, bombing, death toll rises to 51. Child suicide bomber, 12 years old. Saturday's suicide attack against a wedding party in the southern Turkish city of Gaziantep has seen its death toll continue to rise overnight. At least 51 people have now been killed, with another 69 wounded, many seriously so. There has still been no official claim of responsibility, though officials have identified the suicide bomber as a child of approximately 12. The government is saying they believe the attack was carried out by ISIS, as Gaziantep is not far north of the Syrian border into an area controlled by ISIS. ISIS tends not to take credit for its attacks inside Turkey. Local officials say that the wedding was heavily attended by the Kurdish minority, including members of the opposition People's Democratic Party, the HDP, raising speculation that the attack was designed to add to ethnic tension in the country. Funeral goers for the victims of the bombing were said to have loudly criticized President Erdogan, with many locals complaining that ISIS had presence in the city for years and that the government had mostly ignored them, not taking serious precautions. Serbia and the Republika Srpska marked the anniversary to commemorate the genocide committed by Nazi Ustashi Croatia. The government of Serbia and the RS, the Republika Srpska, together marked the anniversary of the start of the Ustashi crimes committed in the NDH. The event is held at the memorial area Donja Gradina to mark 75 years since the beginning of the genocide against Serbs, Jews, and Roma in the death camp Jasenovac. Donja Gradina is located on the right bank of the Sava River and is now in the Republika Srpska, the Serb entity of Bosnia-Herzegovina. During the Second World War, it was controlled by Nazi-allied independent state of Croatia, NDH, whose Ustasha regime operated the death camps. The independent state of Croatia's system of concentration camps, headquartered in Jasenovac, was established on August 24, 1941. Around 700,000 people were killed there, mostly Serbs, Jews, and Roma. Guru Andre, listen to this. Rushing for a confrontation, U.S. fascist commander threatens war with Russia and Syria. In a telephone interview from Baghdad, new Iraq-Syria war commander Lieutenant General Stephen Townsend tried to echo the boundless optimism of every other U.S. commander when put in charge of one of the nation's various open-ended wars, vowing to see all of ISIS dead and virtually ousted from both countries within a year. The real story of his comments, however, was less the war he's fighting now than the wars he's threatening to fight along the way, as Lieutenant General Townsend pointedly threatened both Russia and Syria over recent flights and airstrikes around the northeastern city of Hasakeh. Townsend said he informed the Russians that U.S. warplanes are prepared to defend the U.S. troops on the ground if they feel threatened in the future strikes in and around Hasakeh. U.S. troops are known to be embedded with Kurdish forces in the Hasakeh province, but their exact locations aren't known. Even so, when fighting broke out in the city between Syrian and Kurdish forces and Syrian warplanes struck the Kurds, U.S. officials complained they had to scramble troops out of the area. They also made a point of sending their own warplanes to confront the Syrian ones. Syrian warplanes are still flying over the area despite U.S. threats. While Russia is trying to get the military and the Kurds to stop fighting one another, Russia has been hacking the Kurds in some offensives and appears to see this fighting as an unwelcome distraction from their focus on ISIS and the Nusra Front. U.S. officials, on the other hand, seem to see this as a great opportunity to transition from the war against ISIS, which despite all their rhetoric isn't accomplishing much, and into a war against Syria's government, which they see as a more straightforward and potentially more winnable battle. U.S. intelligence officials have been arguing that point since last year, and State Department officials have also been pushing the idea of shifting the war to one of regime change, on the idea that pro-U.S. rebels are never going to get anywhere unless the U.S. props them up as a government first. That said, attacking Syrian warplanes over Syria is almost certain to quickly bring the Russians into the war as well, which is why it has in practice been unthinkable to do so. Despite that obvious problem looming just over the horizon, however, U.S. officials are still eagerly rushing forward on a confrontation. Hey, listen everyone, before I say goodbye, let's thank the Mother Russia national team in the Olympics in Rio, with less than half a team coming in fourth place with about, 56, 57 medals total. And let's thank Serbia, bravo Serbia, doing so well and defeating Croatia once again in water polo champions. Hey everybody, that ends our program. As I stress always, stay on alert, be safe, Have a great day. See you all on Wednesday. Bye-bye, folks.